Ladies, gentlemen, and atmospheric thrill seekers, gather round. For today, we're unpacking a weather pattern so powerful, so dramatic, and so impossibly clingy that it might as well be your ex, HOA president, and even your last bad decision combined. And who's our star for today? Of course, it's the Omega Block. And no, it's not the name of an Avengers final attack move. Though it should be, it's just not. It's not even a fraternity prank, not a protein bar, not even the new Greek salad from Panera. It is, however, one of Mother Nature's favorite power plays. And when it shows up, weather forecasting becomes both increasingly predictable and incredibly irritating. Now, we all know that you've heard the term Omega Block tossed around at your local news like it's common knowledge. But unless your childhood becomes bedtime stories about geopotential heights and mid-level atmospheric ridges, in that case, please blink twice for help. You're probably wondering, what is this thing? In this case, welcome to Indiana Storm Chaser's Crash Course in Meteorology 101. Why the sky is being so dang rude. Now let's go back to the fuzzy thing you learned in Earth science. The troposphere. Yes, that thing. The troposphere is where most of the weather magic happens. Not the entire troposphere, mind you. We're talking about the sweet spot altitude between 15,000 and 18,000 feet. Like most weather patterns, this is the zone where the Omega Block throws its party. Now, in order to figure out what's going on, we have a little bit of a setup for you. Picture this. Two grumpy, slow-moving storm systems, aka cut-off lows, glaring at each other from across the map like they're in the middle of a dramatic breakup. And just like most dramas, there's always that middleman. Well, that middleman is a self-satisfied high-pressure system, lounging around like it's paid for an Airbnb and refuses to check out. Air flows clockwise around the highs, counterclockwise around the lows. And what about that jet stream? That's just the bigger upper-level river of wind that normally zips the weather across from the west to the east, etc., shoved up and over the bulky high. When you draw it out on the weather map, and you really don't let your mind take a nosedive straight into the gutter, the jet stream literally looks like the Greek letter omega, hence the name Omega Block. Don't you know Greek letters usually make everything sound so dramatic? But you may ask, what's the block part? Well, we're getting to that point. It literally just blocks everything. Honestly, it's kind of like that one person who stands in front of the only working bathroom at the party and they're trying to tell you about their kombucha setup. In weather terms, it gets jammed up. Weather systems stall, storms don't move, and the jet stream basically packs a lunch, takes a scenic detour around Canada, and hopes for the best. Honestly, there's a good and a bad to this. We'll give you the good news first, followed by the bad news. Depending on where you land on this atmospheric traffic jam, you either get the gorgeous, warm, dry weather under the highs. The bad news is, though, is that you can also get trapped in a soggy, chilly disaster zone on the sides, where lows keep tossing in rain and tantrums your way. And to be completely honest with you, these things don't just breeze through either. Oh no, they linger. Omega Blocks are notoriously stubborn, sometimes hanging around for days, even weeks. Have you ever found yourself under one of those hellish summer heat domes where even your houseplants keep cussing at you? Well, you've already met the Omega Block then. It doesn't just set up camp, it brings a hammock, mini fridge, and even a 5-day forecast that says, "Good luck, buddy." But here's the kicker. Meteorologists with their fancy satellite toys and science degrees still can't fully understand what triggers these. They're almost like your weird uncle's Facebook posts. They're chaotic, persistent, and very confusing. The formation and breakdown of the Omega Block remains one of meteorologists' biggest, yeah, we're working on that moments. So the next time your weather app says rain every day for the week and your mood matches your mildew count, you might just be able to blame the Omega Block. And no, it's not just a weather pattern, it's a lifestyle, like a diva, and occasionally a total jerk. And now you know what an Omega Block is. Feeling smarter now? I know we are. But now for the business end of things. Support our chaos and caffeine fund on Ko-fi, so we can keep bringing you educational content with a side of sarcasm and a sprinkle of existential dread. You know, Storm Chaser style. And as always, stay aware, stay safe, don't get twisted.